Immediately, before we dive into anything, can we shout out the Blitzball champions? I love them. I love them. I love the love yous. I'm talking about Nikki Cass, and I'm talking about Dalton Feely, whose jersey I was repping on last week's episode.
Can we just?
I'm
going to stand up for this.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, he's now stood up.
The audience can't see this, and I'm looking at the camera that's not even there.
Right, we're not filming it.
Butcher BB5 champions are the Love Ya!
The Love Ya!
I started to get lightheaded.
Just had to get that out of the way. So The Witcher 4 is going to come out, and there is the trailer drop. There's been a little bit of controversy with this, okay? Because Ciri, who everyone knows is near and dear to my heart, she's gone through a lot, is what it looks like. And
named your cat after her, too.
There's a picture of her behind me. Can we just... There's a picture of her behind me that I named my cat Ciri. She's got a little bit of a different look in the trailer, and obviously she's gone through. I think she's gone through the rest.
Well, these things
Witcher,
happen. Puberty is a thing.
Well, she was already in her 20s in 3.
Well, Witcher puberty is a thing,
but she hasn't. Yeah, she hadn't gone through all the rest of the Witcher stuff.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And that's why I said Witcher puberty. You have regular puberty, and then you get all Witchery.
And it canonizes an ending for 3. Which for me, that was the canon ending. It's actually the only ending
With
I've ever
Ciri
gotten.
becoming the Witcher?
Yes, becoming a Witcher.
Toss a coin for your Witcher.
Toss a coin to your Witcher.
It's to your Witcher. I'm sorry. I was wrong.
Valley of Plenty.
Oh, Valley of Plenty.
What was your thoughts on the Netflix show with changing over to what's-his-face?
Oh, changing over to the guy that's not Henry Cavill?
Right.
Yeah, that's who he is. Because I can't remember his name. I think it's Liam something. It might be Liam Hemsworth.
Yes, it's Chris's brother. Yeah.
The less popular Hemsworth.
The one that dated Miley Cyrus.
Oh, bad look.
So take from that what you will.
My opinion on the Netflix show is that it's great when Henry Cavill,
right,
who is very passionate about video games. He's a
Henry Cavill,
super big geek nerd.
Yeah, did you ever watch the stream of him? It's just like him building a PC.
I did not watch that, but what I do know is that he loves The Witcher, which means that he was going to do the show justice.
Yeah.
And Netflix said, no, we can write a better show than a game that's won multiple awards.
Yeah, he essentially
has a Game of the Year edition.
This is not true to...
Has been beloved by fans for years and years and years. And they're like, we can do better.
I'll be the first to say I'm not the most crazy well-versed in the universe. I've only played The Witcher 3. I've only played 3. I've played 1 or 2.
part of The Witcher 3.
I've played The Witcher 3, loved it.
I know that Yennefer is a character.
Yes, that's Yennefer right there.
Yes, the black-haired lady. Yeah. I know what she looks like. Right. I know who Yennefer is because there was Skyrim mods to put Yennefer in Skyrim.
Sure. Yeah. There's a lot of mods for Skyrim to put a lot of stuff in it.
Yeah, this is true.
And that you already know that's Ciri.
I do, yeah.
Okay.
And next to that we have Michael Scott.
That's Michael Scott.
With Dwight Schrute. Dude, did I tell you about the podcast I listened to with Rainn Wilson on it the other day?
You did. Where he was talking essentially about atheism.
No.
Are you talking about that one?
No. He's talking about Baha'i.
Well, no. He talks about atheism, though, and how he claims that he's not an atheist.
Right.
And he basically goes on to say that because I did
he believes in the one world religion.
Yeah, and he doesn't... He's kind of... I guess you would say that he's agnostic in a way.
No, he's theist in a way.
Because he doesn't...
I know what you mean, yeah.
Get to it. Yeah. An understanding. But he doesn't believe that a God exists.
No. So agnostic would be...
Well, right. No, I'm saying, but he is basically saying that...
He believes that there is a God. He just does not believe that we can know who that God is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm saying. Yeah.
We took many paths to get to the same conclusion.
We did. So he's like, man, he's almost there. He's halfway
he was
there.
Always weird, though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look at Dwight.
Yeah.
So it takes a special person to portray.
It does.
portray
Portray.
that individual. So
It takes a special poison to portray Dwight.
listen, thank you, baby. I thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Right, what I said there was thank you very much.
Crikey, mate.
That was Australian. I was speaking British.
Right, but you done taking it from Elvis to you went to a whole nother place with it.
I did. I went
Glory, glory, hallelujah.
Okay.
Wise men say only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with you.
I don't remember the rest of the song.
That's it. What? I know more Elvis. What else do I know? A hunk,
I
hunk,
want
burn
for the
in
money.
love. Hunk, burn in love.
I know a one for the money, a two for the show. Three to get ready now. Go, cat, go, but don't you. A step on my blue suede shoes.
A hunk, burn.
And copyrighted.
What else? What else does he do? Jailhouse Rock?
He
Is
does
that
do
him?
Jailhouse Rock. He does something about a pink Cadillac somewhere.
Yeah. I feel like we're missing his most famous song.
That's why I did one for the money, two for the show.
I said I want-
Go, cat, go, but don't you. Ooh, there's a little less conversation.
A little more.
Yeah, that one. There's that one. There is
Ain't
that
nothing
one.
but a hound dog.
Ain't nothing but a hound dog.
That's probably is that his biggest thing?
No, I feel like Can't Help But Falling in Love is his biggest
When
one.
you Google Elvis, the first thing that comes up is he's singing into a microphone, but it looks like he's hitting a vape, really hard. Modernity has ruined almost everything. The first photo, it looks like he is ripping a vape. A little less conversation. Yeah, Jailhouse
More
Rock.
action, baby.
Oh, In the Ghetto. In the Ghetto.
So, shout out to my dad, because what I've seen him do recently when I come home from work and I see him sitting on the couch is this. My father is watching other people react to Elvis for the first time.
Right.
I know he just wants to watch the music. Like, I know he's just there to listen to some Elvis.
But so instead of just pulling up Elvis on YouTube or
Yes.
putting on a record or his phone or anything,
Correct.
He's watching somebody else. No, but hey, let's be real. Same thing we do with video games. Exact same thing.
True enough.
Because I'll watch somebody react to a game I've already played before, or anything.
True enough.
That's just the boomer version. Is he's watching somebody react to Elvis?
I guess, yeah. Speaking of, did you see the video of the man who rammed his car into the car dealership?
I did. I've seen it many a time since it happened.
Hilarious.
It is.
Honestly very
the original
terrifying for the
context.
people.
I think is like he's mad at the dealership.
They won't give him a refund. He bought a car that got lemon lawed, and they won't give him a refund for it.
His solution was let me drive into it.
Yes. So the way lemon law works in Utah is lemon law does not apply to a used vehicle. He bought a used vehicle that got lemon lawed. Lemon law means that if the car, essentially, if you got to keep taking that thing back and back and back, eventually it will get lemon lawed, and the dealership owes you for a reimbursement. Now, it varies state by state. In California, used cars are covered under the lemon law. But in a state
California knows how to party
right.
in the city.
In a state like Utah, used cars are not lemon lawed, so man was just out $4,000.
So he should have known that.
Look up your state laws, people. Know that what you're getting into when you buy cars.
He should have asked
It's a
Joseph
serious
Smith
commitment.
to bargain for the used car for him, and he wouldn't have been in that predicament.
If he would have called J.G. Wentworth 877 cash now, he maybe would not be in the hole as much.
Right. Or Alexander Shannara.
Ooh.
If you're in the Florida to Alabama region.
If you're in, Glenda Mitchell is really just for auto accidents. We saw a lot of her billboards on the way to
We did.
Chattanooga.
We did.
Yeah. Dude,
I
you
think
wanna
she
talk
only
about,
services that road.
well, no, she got a billboard here in Albany.
Really?
Yeah. Somewhere on Mock Road.
Where can you not get the services of Glenda Mitchell?
That's a great question. Spain, probably.
Spain.
Spain.
Does she service Turkey?
Could. A little bit of Greece, lightning action. I don't know.
Would you go to Greece? Like now? No, I'm not talking about like back in the good old days of like the bathhouses and stuff.
Right.
Like now.
Would I go to Greece right now?
Are you a fan of the Greek food?
I do like a gyro.
Yeah, a gyro. You like a good American gyro?
You want to know?
Remember in Skyrim when you're doing Dawn Guard and you have to find the Dwemer gyros?
The Dwemer gyros.
Yeah.
You see, here's what really messes me up about that word. When
That's
it's
after-
talking about a food, it's a gyro. But when you're talking
Right.
about a gyroscopic mechanical instrument,
it's not a
it's a
gyroscopic.
gyro at that point.
Yeah.
Which is stupid.
You know what I'm talking about? That it's when
Absolutely bloody stupid.
it's after. It's like after you take Serana back to Castle Volcar for the first time. You know what I'm talking about? Have you played,
No, I know
you
what
played
you're talking
Skyrim?
about. I played Skyrim many times. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and then you take her back to Harkin, and then you're kind of like finding those people.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Dwemer gyros.
The Dwemer gyros. You want to know? Gyros. You want to know? And I will be content in every circumstance. You are gyro.
You know what came up in my shuffle? It was an old David Crowder song,
Ooh.
and it was like hard rock.
Ooh. Dude, was it on the same level of SCC's? I'm diving in. I'm going
No,
deep.
it's like harder. It's harder than that. It's harder than that.
Was it as hard as what would people think when they hear that I'm a Jesus freak?
Well, it doesn't have the hip hop element that has, but
Okay. What about some rebirthing now? I want to live for life, want to live for you and breathe for the first time now.
maybe kind of on that. Yeah, it's this one. I'm trying not to copyright the.
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying not to copyright.
Listen, David Crowder
the stream.
started as like a country rock artist before he became a CCM country artist.
Yeah, well, he took 3 ways. It kind of was that, and then they don't do a lot of that rock stuff.
No.
But some of the songs are randomly like,
Yes.
this is like really hard. This is like Creed.
You would think that they said, what if we just drop D in the studio real quick?
Some of it sounds like Creed. And then he goes back, and then it's not David Crowder Band anymore. It's just David Crowder.
Right.
And it's actually not even David Crowder. It's just Crowder. And
Right.
And it's a little bit more.
Not to be confused with the Louder with Crowder segments on YouTube.
No, that's another controversial gentleman.
Yeah. Dude, speaking of that whole, he used to be a part of the Daily Wire network. Speaking of all
Right.
that, Brett Cooper out of the Daily Wire.
Yeah. Do you
Which
know? So all I saw was she was like, "Hey, it's a mutual parting ways. I'm going to go on to other stuff."
So
You
I've
think
done
there
some
was some
sleuthing.
issues
I've done
behind
some
that?
sleuthing
What'd you find
today. What I know is that apparently her Tic Tac comments told her if she couldn't say what was really happening to wear blue on the video, and she wore a blue sweater. So probably what I think more than likely
So some
happened
red tape behind the scenes.
could be what I think more than likely happened is that I was listening to a different video kind of break down what was happening, and I kind of agree with their take. You know how sometimes an artist will start at a label because they need the label to back them to essentially crowdfund the project, get them going, and all
It's
that.
built-in advertising. It gets you
Right,
It gets
right.
you an audience.
But I think she finally got to the point where she was doing better than what the Daily Wire could do for her.
Sure.
So she may have went in for like a little bit of renegotiation to be like, hey, I kind of like
Well,
Jordan
you think
Peterson.
it's one of those things where now that she's got her own audience now,
Right.
she doesn't need the Daily Wire. Like she can
No.
start her own independent show.
Well, she actually has.
where nobody can tell you
Right.
what. No, like I don't know, but I'm assuming what was happening was some of what she was being. You
Yeah.
know, she was either being told she could or couldn't say certain things.
Exactly.
And so now, I mean, she can just do her own thing.
Well, I mean, it's also not like I don't know if that had much to do with it because I mean she's a hardcore conservative. It's a conservative network, so I don't think they ever have that kind of issue.
Right. Oh yeah, I don't think it would be like a policy thing, but it's probably like
I think it probably came down to Brett wanted more autonomy and wanted to be able to do more of what she wanted to do, but the network was just like no.
it's kind of like
Because like if you look at her co-hosts or not co-hosts, but the girl who took over the show, Reagan. When you look at the videos side by side, it's Reagan is trying to clone what Brett did.
Right.
And the thing about that show is it's not that anybody watched that show because it was the Daily Wire. It's not that anybody watched that show because it was called the Comment Section. It's because Brett Cooper built a following.
Right.
And let's be real. Let's be real. Probably a male-dominated audience.
She's an attractive woman.
Attractive looking young lady. That's probably where she got some views from. Also,
Married woman.
Traditionally a married woman. Lives on a farm. So it's just, I think one person put it like this, she might have wanted to do like the Jordan Peterson thing, where Jordan Peterson is associated with the Daily Wire, but Jordan Peterson is not like contracted like Ben Shapiro or Michael Knowles or Andrew Clavin or Matt Walsh. I think she probably wanted.
That begs the question:
What about
what
bricklayers?
is the Daily Wire? But because of the ravages of socialism,
No, you see.
we can't have Brett Cooper on.
No, you see, this really brings the question.
I can't do it.
I kind of want to bring this into play here.
I
Did you know that 99% of bricklayers are men?
because of the ravages of socialism.
I don't know. What voice am I doing? I don't know.
I don't know, but that's definitely not
I don't know how
JP.
to-
That's
I
definitely not
can't.
Jordan
can't.
Peterson.
I
Not to be
can't.
confused with JP Polduca, excellent pastor. Really like to listen to.
Or
some of his sermons.
JP Pegues, who was supposed to be a way better point guard for Auburn this year after transfer for Furman, and he is
Dude.
really disappointed.
Since we're on this, we're on a hodgepodge train right now. We're just
Yeah.
kind of running wild. Falcons and who is it? Raiders play tonight.
Falcons and Raiders. Yep.
We
Mon-
went
it's
to
Monday.
see the Falcons a couple of weeks ago,
We did.
and here's what I learned about the Atlanta Falcons.
Kirk
football
Cousins
team.
has not thrown a touchdown in 4 games. I think?
Here's
8 interceptions.
Here's what I learned a couple of Sundays ago at the Falcons game. There are 3 players on the Atlanta Falcons football team. Mm-hmm. Number 1, Kirk Cousins. Number 2, Bijan Robinson, who was putting in work. He was really trying to win the game for the Falcons.
Pretty much the whole offense.
Basically, yes. And then number 3, Drake London,
Yeah.
who was catching. Who he had hands, he could catch, but not as good as Brad McConkey playing for the Lions. Boy was catching. He may have put glue on his gloves.
Lad McConkey literally had the first 15 catches for the Chargers.
And also 2 for the. I'm kidding. He's on the offense, not defense. But Kirk Cousins in that game threw a pick 6 and the drive-stopping interception, which could have given Atlanta the chance to score.
He was playing for the Chargers.
I think he's colorblind, honestly.
He was playing for the Chargers.
I
for
do
sure.
really appreciate that in the fan cam when they were going through the crowd, there was just a dude with Trade Kirk Keys booty on his phone.
He did. He was able to. He probably didn't know he was going to get on camera, and he just had that at the ready and got really.
I mean,
really
if you stay
lucky.
ready, you ain't got to get ready.
That's right. That's right. So
I've been to 2 football games this year. Both times I saw the team that I went to see lose.
That's right. I am on a real hot streak of Caitlin Clark. I'm really sorry. We're coming. We're coming. At the beginning of next year.
Maybe. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to.
We're hopefully coming, and
So
I'm
here's
really
the deal,
sorry.
right?
You're probably going to lose.
I've already given our beloved Stan and Anna a week of my vacation so that they can take a vacation.
That's right. I remember that.
And
Catch
so now
you
I'm
at
working-
the coffee shop.
Catch me at the coffee shop. Catch me at Cornerstone Coffee from 7 to 3 Monday to Friday, or 9 to 3 that Saturday.
Which this is probably going to come out after that. But
Well, it depends on when they take their vacation.
yeah.
Just for the record, we are shooting this on
Yeah,
December
we're doing
the
this
16th.
Right. So Monday night. And this is probably going to come out in a week or two
Maybe.
ish.
Month.
Something like that.
2 months.
Who knows, man? If this ever gets out, you'll know because we'll be in jail.
Right.
So-
Right.
You'll know if we're in jail. Go listen to this wherever you get your podcast.
Better not be.
It'll be really good.
But, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to see that game because, week of my time is now devoted to the Franklins, helping them out, letting them have a little family vacay.
which is good.
The other week and a half is going to more than likely be devoted to the lady.
That's right. His lady.
The lady.
His lady. couple things.
Depends on how things move. We're not going to talk about that on the podcast.
Yeah, you know, some things we'll update you guys. When you know.
Wait, but I just happened to look over at the desk at the Pokemon cards.
Sure. Oh yeah, they don't even know.
They don't even know. So the other day we got Arby's post church, and this was post church after I was not happy.
Who was thinking Arby's? How did we? Steven was thinking Arby's?
I think we threw around like Taco Bell, Burger King. I think Taco Bell got shot down.
Yeah.
And I think we were all on Burger King.
We were about to go to Burger King.
We were about to go to Burger King, and then I think maybe Steven or Chapel
Somebody said
brought
Arby's.
up Arby's. Somebody said Arby's, and we said, you know what? We could do some Arby's.
Yeah, because we actually had not done that as
the
boys yet.
as the
So-
quartet. We had done it as the trio, but we had not
Right.
done it as the quartet. Also, speaking of that Arby's, hey, can I get some honey mustard?
You better leave me alone and sit down.
I also asked for some au jus sauce, which is what they season the burgers with, essentially, and I was told that's for the French dip.
And guess what? You didn't order French tips. So you don't.
I
get
did
none.
not, but I still got it anyway. Sucks to
It ain't like they get paid to do that. There was nobody else. I'm not even going to get started. That was.
that was.
I just want some honey mustard. I had no. They gave me Arby's sauce, which is fine. I'm not hating on Arby's sauce, but like,
no, we're not.
I personally wanted honey
mustard.
mustard with the food that I paid for.
So we go there, we have Arby's, and then we all decide. So we're all me, Steven, Chapel, Dylan. We're all a bunch of Poke Boys. We like the Pokemans. I'm almost at 1,000 cards on the app.
Is Pokemon? Is that what it's called?
Like, maybe.
Is that the plural?
I'm almost at 1,000 cards on the app.
I think I've got 800 and something.
It's getting up there.
I started late, and I'm new to this whole thing, so like, that's pretty good.
Yeah. So we decided to go to Target after, because Target is right across the street from Arby's. And on a whim, I said, I'm just going to get this. It's like metal tin. It's like $20. And in that $20 or $30 metal tin, I pulled.
Hold on. Before you say it,
Pause.
he was about to buy a $10 pack.
See.
So he's about to buy it, and it had like 2 or 3 in it and like a coin. And something
yeah.
like that.
Yeah,
and like
yeah.
at the last minute, we see some tins, and they're $27.
Something like
And
that.
we were basically the whole time we were joking, are we going to make a good decision? Are we going to make a bad decision? Literally at the very last second, we're not even saying anything. I'm looking at the Charizard X packs, which is what I ended up getting. And Eric just puts the other one down, just grabs the $27 one and just walks off. Like, decision made. He's done.
Yeah.
He's going to spend more money.
So
And
I did
and what
that.
happened?
We check out. We're chilling on the back of Chapel's Honda Civic. Ooh. May have just doxed bro by saying that he drives a Honda Civic. Whoops.
It's out. Nobody, if you see him.
I mean, to be fair, there's a lot of Honda Civics on the road. But anyways, so we're opening the cars on the back of Chap's Honda Civic.
His is the one with a...
Stop it. We can't dox him too hard.
He's thumping some hard bass.
He does have a really nice, I don't know if we need to say that.
To sleep token.
Well, now his Civic's a Target. Nobody steal.
It's playing sleep token.
Be good people. So we're opening the cards. First pack, there's a nice foil in there. It's pretty decent. Second pack, however, I struck gold. I pulled a potential $700 Charizard EX from if I remember right, it was a Scarlet and Violet pack.
It was a Scarlet and Violet pack, so PBA 10, it would be $700.
Yep.
eBay, a lot of people are selling them, anywhere $400 to
400,
$700 was the most. So
Right now, it's chilling in the apartment because I refuse to leave that thing in my house or
Yeah,
the car where it's not.
I think as
controlled.
is, completely ungraded, it's like $50 if it was in not good condition. So
Right.
As soon as
Either
you
way,
ungrade
I've made $30.
it should be a couple $100.
Yeah.
Really
it's
cool
going to be
card.
more.
Really
Really cool card. Really insane draw.
Really cool. And it was after I just, spent like $40.
You spent like $50 on a Charizard.
Charizard X.
That was not worth $50.
Pack. It's a $5 card.
Yeah.
But I got 6 packs with that.
You did.
And I did get the sleeves and stuff too.
You did.
So
Which actually came in clutch because I had no sleeve and Chap didn't have a sleeve in the car either.
Yeah.
So sleeves came in clutch.
it did come in clutch. So and again, I'm really starting the whole process from the start. So
And also, speaking of Pokemon, opened the 2 packs I could open on TCG Pocket. I got my 4th Mewtwo EX, which is stupid.
that I still have 0 of.
I finally got the rare scene Mewtwo EX, but I have 4 of the regular Mewtwo EXs, the hollows. And then I have friggin' 3 Gengar hollow EXs right now, which is stupid. Absolutely stupid.
So what
Steven-
I've realized, so I really built out my Psychic deck today and my Darkness.
Yeah.
And I don't I have 1 Gengar X. I have 2 regular Mewtwo's. Like one's a full art, but like I don't have an X at all.
Right.
And my 800 plus cards Not a single Mewtwo X. I just don't have a psychic deck. It's just not. It's not.
I'm
viable
trying
at
to
all.
farm a Gardevoir right now.
Yeah.
I spent it was either last week or week before
I
last.
do see. I have that, but I have nothing to like. I have
So
nothing.
the thing
good
is
enough
that
to,
when you build Mewtwo,
You know?
EX, you put the 2 energy on them. You use
Right.
you can put the 4 energy on them. You use the Hyper Beam. You slap for 150.
and you can just do that every time though, because you
With the
you,
Gardevoir, you can do that every time.
yeah,
because
you
of her
side shadow
ability.
and
Yep.
you use your one that you get, and it's just done. It's over after that. So
You're cooked unless you're playing a Venusaur and he manages
Yeah.
to somehow. If the Mewtwo EX has damage on it, and you haven't built another full health Mewtwo EX, the Venusaur will slap the life out of you.
pretty much anything else you're about to just cook, like the game is
But
over.
yeah, no, that's a 150
I haven't
shot every
pulled
time.
a single one.
When trading opens, I got you.
You need any Starmie X's? Because I got like 4 now.
I think I have like 4 or 3 as well.
Yeah.
I was farming for the longest time.
Starmie X is the first one I ever got. But
For the longest time, I was
immediately.
farming the Charizard packs because I did not have a Molteras EX, so I couldn't
see,
load up the Inferno Dance.
I got
for
Volterra CX before
Chari.
you did. I pulled that Charizard at TNT that time.
Yep.
What was almost a God pack.
You have the Scene Charizard. Also, let's calm down. God pack. Whoa.
What? Well, that's what it's called.
I don't care what it's called.
It's like how you go, like if you go on Windows and you type in the command prompt, you can go in God mode.
Listen, who are we talking
Did you
about?
ever play Pocket God, the iOS game?
No. Who are we talking about?
Well, not Pocket God. Because he is false. He does not
Yes.
exist.
He does not exist.
He won't answer your prayers.
Pocket God can't hurt you.
Therapist. Pocket God isn't real. Pocket God.
If you or a loved one has been hurt by Pocket God, call 877 cash now.
It was a really weird game. You basically, there was all these pygmies on this little
Sorry, pygmies or
Planet?
pygmies? Because pygmies are a different thing. Okay,
pygmy,
okay.
Not a pygmy girl.
He
Pygmy,
said it, not me.
Pygmy, like
Don't come at me.
it was kind of a racist game.
Well,
It was kind of a racist game, honestly.
we're canceled.
I don't know how it didn't get. No, I'm saying it was. I'm on the air. I'm on the side of
We stand.
let's make it not be racist.
We stand
I do.
on that.
So I stand on business.
On bidness. Spelled phonetically, BIDNESS.
I can't read this. I was about to read this news story.
Oh,
I can't read this on the podcast. I really want to because it's funny. Sexy Ozempic injector among 2024's weirdest
What?
Halloween costumes.
So-
She's dressed as the Ozempic pin. I'm a pharmacist, so I thought that was. If you had to clock out for bathroom breaks, how little money would you make? Because I would work for about 2 hours out of my 10 if I had to clock out for bathroom breaks.
Phoebe, if you're listening, he doesn't mean that. He works his full 8 hours a day.
Well, I actually work 10-hour shifts, but the thing is,
If you're listening, he works a full 10 hours.
I definitely take my fair share of bathroom breaks. And if I had to clock out for every one, I mean, there'd be a lot of work for the managers on the back end to tally all that.
Well,
up.
there's a lot of work on the back end anyway.
Yeah, but I'm doing it. That's my work.
Yeah, you're doing it either way. Here's the question. How long do you think it would take us as men to use the restroom for a number 2 situation if we didn't have our phones in there with us?
So you're just raw dogging it, like you're just you're just sitting there thinking about it.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think it would take longer because
Really?
I think you're just sitting there thinking about it.
So what? So does that mean because you're thinking about it, you're not actively
Yeah,
engaged?
I think
in
if you're
doing it?
I think if you're on your phone or whatever, you're distracted. Then you have yeah. All right. So we were talking about another one of these monoliths has popped up.
I've never heard of these.
Yeah, so this is like the 4th time it's happened at this point. So I want to say it was Utah that's happened, and then multiple times around Vegas. So Arizona, Nevada, that whole kind of west region. It's basically just. Did you ever watch Marvel's Agents of Shield? That show? Remember that
watched
show on ABC.
No, I remember it, and it was also I think it was on like Hulu or Netflix or something like that for a hot minute. It was
was-
definitely on Disney Plus. when
That
Disney
was like
bought Marvel.
my show.
I
for a
watched the
minute.
first 2 seasons, and then I think it took them a while to put season 3 out,
Yeah.
and I fell off.
When I tell you that was like, because I don't watch live TV anymore. Like other than
Speaking
sports,
of
that was my
shows-
show.
Speaking of Marvel shows, Disney absolutely killed.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch Punisher?
Are you talking about the John Bernthal?
Yes.
Punisher? Yeah.
Yes. Such a good Punisher.
It carried on the whole dark kind of thing that,
Yes.
that Daredevil had going on. I'm
Marvel-
rewatching The Walking Dead right now, so I'm still in the John Bernthal seasons.
I kind of don't like that Marvel has killed so many good shows.
Yeah.
Or not Marvel. Marvel did themselves a disservice, but when Disney bought them, they were like, we're not going to have these edgy shows anymore.
And so you know they're bringing Daredevil, right? So Daredevil Born Again is coming out. I think it's in March.
Really?
Yeah, and they actually, so they watched it, what they filmed,
Okay.
and they hated it.
Ooh.
And so they reshot a bunch of it. And I think, if I remember correctly from what I read, it's
Yeah.
because they kind of Disneyfied it. It wasn't dark enough.
Yeah.
They watched it. They said, nobody's going to watch this.
Right.
And they
Nobody
reshot
that wants
a
to watch
ton of-
Daredevil is
Like
going
Charlie
to watch
Cox
that,
is back,
yeah.
all that. And I want to say they filmed it, and then they said, we need to bring back Foggy and Karen and like the
Yes.
same actor. So they brought them back too.
So there's a chance we could get.
There's a
John
chance it's
Bernthal.
actually good.
So-
yes, you could get John Bernthal. Is what I'm
Gonna be
saying.
so
Yeah,
good.
100%.
Also, speaking of Marvel, because we're on the topic,
Yeah.
do you think we get Channing Tatum as Gambit in his own movie?
At this point, I don't really see why not. That anything
He
can happen.
did so good. Have I
Yeah.
watched the full movie? No, but every time I see the clips, I'm like, no, this is who Gambit is.
Like I don't see why anything can't happen at this point. Because the last thing I'll tell you, the last thing that I saw is the next Avengers that comes out, which I think is 2026 or 27.
right, we've got Tony Stark. No, not Tony Stark. We've got Robert Downey Jr. back as Doctor Doom.
Yeah, well, so yeah, Robert Downey Jr. is coming back, and Chris Evans
Who's he
is
coming back as?
too. I mean, again, we're in a multiverse situation. You could always,
Do we get Human Torch number 2?
it could always be a flashback. I don't know, but now that we're in, we've been in the multiverse here
Right,
for a hot
deaths don't
second.
matter anymore in Marvel.
We've been
Because
in
in theory, we could bring back Tony Stark as Iron Man. Or we
now,
could bring back
you know,
RDJ as
right
Tony
so-
Stark.
And the thing is,
as Iron Man.
you can always go to whatever timeline you want to go to because
Yeah.
because of the multiverse, right? Like the newest Deadpool deals with that a lot. Loki deals with it a lot.
Well, Loki is currently Yggdrasil and holding the entirety of the timeline together.
Right. So that whole concept of sacred timeline, that was kind of like in
Yeah.
Loki season 1 that it really went into that.
Yeah.
I bring up Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. though because there's actually, spoiler alert, later on in the show, there is a monolith that they deal with.
Interesting.
And it always reminds me of that every time one of these pops up out in the West because I'm like, oh man, that's like the monolith that they dealt with. It kind of transported them around to different places. I don't know. I actually don't remember what ended up happening with the monolith in that show. I didn't watch the last. Again, that was my show, bro. Like
I know that at one point
the show made me cry, laugh, feel things as a teenager. And
I
then
remember that at one point you have the main character girl, right?
Sky, and then later on, that's not her name.
That's not her name. But you have like the bro Chad dude who like
Yeah. Oh yeah.
he was good for a long time, and then it was like, oh no, sleeper agent. Actually, he's bad.
Correct.
I think
Correct.
that
he
that
was
is
actually
where
he was Hydra the whole
he
time.
was Hydra the whole time. That's where I dropped off.
Yeah. Oh man, what was his name?
I see his face.
I do too.
I cannot think of his name to save my life.
I do too.
Speaking of, TV shows, movies we used to watch.
Yeah. I never saw the last season. I don't know why. It exists. I didn't go back.
Did you ever watch the Divergent series?
Yeah.
Did you think that were okay? Did you think they were bad?
Let me tell you exactly what I thought.
Hit me.
Loved the first movie. I thought it was great.
Yes.
I thought it was a good adaptation of the book.
Yes.
I thought it was decently well written. Again, it's off the source material, so you don't have to try that hard. But like, I thought that was, I would label that a good movie.
Yes.
I was fine with the second movie. It wasn't as good.
No,
it was not as good as the first one.
It was okay.
It didn't blow me away. I didn't hate it. I thought it was fine. I didn't think it killed the series or anything.
Right.
Obviously, a lot went down in between where they ended up making the third movie a TV movie.
Yeah.
The third movie is so bad.
It's real bad.
And it's not just the writing. It's not just the fact that the actors like Shailene Woodley didn't even want to be in the movie because she said, I didn't sign up to be in a TV movie. I signed up to be in
an actual movie.
Hollywood theater movies. The visuals are so bad.
Oh yeah, no. If I remember, is the third one the one where like she's hooked up to the machine and she's doing all this running around memory crap?
The thing that I remember the most about it is they're in some kind of like, it's not a spaceship, but they're in like this flying
like a rip-off Matrix
car.
thing?
Yeah, and it looks so bad when they're flying towards the camera. And I gotta be honest, I don't remember a whole lot else from the movie. Because
It was the third one was the one where like she was having to do a bunch of memory trait, like jumping, right? Like she was
I think,
hooked to a machine or something like that.
yeah, you're thinking of when she's in like Candor, right? And they're like,
Yes.
and they're like hooking her up to everything.
Yeah.
And
That was
making
3,
her-
right?
I think so. Because isn't her brother there?
I believe so, yeah. Because if I remember, because 2 was like them jumping outside the wall, getting
Right.
past the city.
Yeah,
they were
the
hanging
escape.
out with these like tree people
I
or
think
something
it's
for
like
a little bit.
her brother is there, and she goes.
Yes.
And oh, here he is.
Chapel Douglas, put him on the pod.
Hey, man.
What up, dude? I just got here.
Oh, dude, sick. Doors open.
Oh, y'all still in there?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're doing the podcast right now. Come join it.
Doing a what?
We're filming the podcast right now.
Oh,
You're
we're
on
not-
it right now.
Listen, we're not filming, we're recording.
We're recording it. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Take a right when you come in. Second door on the right.
All right.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to be joined by
Chapel Douglas.
by a guest today.
Chapel Douglas.
Chapel Douglas. Chap is one of our bros.
See.
He also goes to Christ Church of Albany. That we talked about a little
We
bit.
did not tell him to not let the cats
in
in.
episode
Ooh.
1. That'd be all right. That'd be all right. We'll be able to get him out. Hey,
Easy, Chapel Douglas
there he
right
is.
there, mate.
There he is, bro. He's always got the coolest hoodies, man. He's always what does that say, bro?
Cop the cajon, bro.
I can't even read that. That font is like some straight death metal, bro. That is. We have a third mic or no?
No.
You'll both end up talking to that one since it's on the thing.
There we go.
Chap. All right. Tell him hello, man.
Hey,
Get a little closer into the
get a
mic.
little closer, okay?
Yeah, into the mic. What's up, dude?
All right, what up?
Yeah, man. So, Chap, we were just talking about how he goes to Christ Church as well. He's been there a lot longer than we have.
Yeah.
But he's actually the first. Congratulations, man! First guest.
Yeah. Hey, first guest.
First guest. Chap is another member of Pierce for the Broken, the metal band that we have talked about a little bit before. But he actually is. So we spent a lot of episode 1 talking about the album we put out, the musical journey.
Okay.
Talk a little bit about your your musical journey. What did you go from? We talked a little bit about like what we started out, liking and not, and kind of what led us. I know you're a big metal guy, but kind of what got you there.
Okay. So, I guess musically, that started probably literally 2 years ago, almost to the day, because I've never been in in the band at school or played anything.
Yeah.
But I asked for a guitar for Christmas from my parents, and they came through.
Yeah.
And so,
That's how I got the Stratocaster that
Yeah.
you play at church. That's how I got started.
Okay.
I wanted to get started playing, and they found that it was like a there was like a, I don't know if he was a worship leader, but he at least played guitar for one of the churches in Auburn, and he was selling it. And they ended up getting it, and that's how I ended up getting that guitar. But it was also for Christmas. We're talking like, I don't know, 2015, something like that.
Yeah.
So
yeah, man. That's how I got mine. And I started, man, I took lessons for a couple months. But really to the extent.
all right, So you got the guitar for Christmas, right?
Yeah.
And how did it kind of go? Now, obviously, you listened to music before then.
Okay.
So at that time,
Okay.
what did you? Yeah, what were you into? Like younger you?
Me.
You're growing up.
K-Love.
You're sitting. All right. Flashback. You're like 13, 14, right?
13, 14.
You're sitting in your bedroom alone. Parents are gone. Maybe you got home from school, whatever, right? You pop in the ear pods, not the AirPods. Those didn't exist then.
Yeah.
You pop in the ear pods. What's
The
playing?
Skull Candy.
Yeah, the Skull Candy, bro. What's
Okay.
playing?
Man, anything just mainstream country music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Literally,
that
if it's
started
on-
early.
Yeah. If
Yeah.
it was on the radio, that's probably what I was listening to.
Bro, you know what young me was crying to in his bedroom? Bro, young me was like, thought Coldplay was so good.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fair.
Young
That's
me
fair.
was like,
They've got some
was
good
like
stuff out.
crying to Yellow by Coldplay.
I wouldn't cry at anything at all. It was literally if I heard it like on the radio,
Yeah.
it was just kind of wild. Because whenever I was growing up, like the only thing we had on in the car was K-Love.
Same, bro.
So,
that or what, like J93.3, I think is what we had.
That's
Like dude, I remember before K-Love. So we had J93.3, and then things like moved to K-Love after that. Dude, I met the K-Love people a couple times in Auburn.
Did they ask you for
like
money?
you know that woman? They had like a jar, yeah.
Yeah,
you know
of course
that
they had
one.
that jar.
What was that woman's name?
Did you meet Scott and Amy?
Is that the what was
What's
the
this-
woman's
dude,
name who like did?
It had to have been Amy. It
Yeah,
had to have been Amy because I remember
Yeah.
that time of year they'd be like, all right, hey, we're reaching
Yep.
out, trying to get that. You want to, we're trying to spread that word.
Yep.
And, yeah, man.
It'd be like the Auburn like city fair. They'd be posted
they?
up at.
Yeah. But yeah, so K-Love was always on. And so that's really the only thing I ever listened to was, dude, even today, if you find like any, 2011
Yeah.
Christian song,
Oh yeah.
I know every word.
Oh yeah. We're talking. You're talking like the old like Toby Mac.
Dude, yes.
Stuff.
Old Toby Mac, you got, what was it?
I don't want to gain the whole world and lose my soul.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that
dude.
stuff.
Yeah.
And you got what? Newsboys, Amy Grant.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Come on, man.
Classic
Yeah,
stuff.
it's classic.
So yeah.
But kind of, then I got really when I stopped listening to K-Love, not, K-Love's fine, but
Yeah.
I branched out.
Right.
Right. Just like when I got a phone in middle school, like 6th grade, and so I would like download some songs there. So
LimeWire, stuff like that.
So let's talk about let's backtrack. We got
All
to
right.
talk about the iPod Shuffle
Yeah.
because the iPod Shuffle.
Hey, was that the fat one or was that the small one?
No. iPod Shuffle was.
Was
wasn't
it
as
no, there was
small
like
as
a Nano. The Nano was the
The
little
Nano
square.
was the one that like Steve Jobs had the.
That was the little square.
Yeah.
That had no screen. It was just a little.
screen.
Yeah.
It was the most brilliant marketing strategy ever because all machines have the pocket watch thing,
Yeah.
right? And they were like, in Apple, and Steve Jobs was just like, "What if we made an iPod to fit in that?"
Yeah. Honestly, that is kind of dope. I kind of wish those things still existed.
I
so.
liked it a lot.
Yeah.
Just the buttons on the front. And it had the clip on the back.
Yeah.
So you could like clip it to you. But yeah, so
You ever one of those giant Walkman CD things? That was a thing right at the end of us being kids. Like it was old, but it was right before all the iPod stuff came out. I remember kids would put their CDs and they had them on the side of their pocket and
I
stuff.
never had one of those.
Yeah, me neither.
iPod Shuffle. I guess it was the Nano, the little square with the clip. That was
Yeah.
the first thing. But
Dude, I remember when the iPod Video came out and it was like, whoa, color video. Like you could record, and now our phone like does all of that
everything
and everything else. Yeah,
it was everything.
and that's the whole marketing for that thing was the fact that it could like take video.
Man, I don't think I'm ashamed of what was on my iPod Shuffle.
Don't be,
I think it was a lot of Black Eyed Peas.
dude.
It was,
Dude,
yeah. But only the
Let's
mainstream
go.
stuff, only
like
the stuff
what did they do? Lovely Lady Lumps. What's that other one?
I had to have my dad help me download stuff on there. So it was a little bit of a.
Oh, so it was still vetted a little bit.
It was definitely
Like he wouldn't have downloaded. He wouldn't have said, "Wait, son,
So
you
real
want
quick.
you want that one?"
Real quick,
Yeah.
I'm going to
don't-
pass the dean over to Chapel. Let him give us a little taste. Also, keep in mind it is in drop D.
You know how to do that, though. I taught you how to do that.
It is in drop D.
Just bar the whole thing and really just play the top three, and just remember that so if you're on like a normal G, like where a normal G would be, that's just F now.
Okay, F.
Yeah, but I mean we're not playing into key or anything, so you just do whatever you want.
Okay, so I can hear everything through this little earpiece here.
Yep.
Sweet. Interesting.
There we go.
I'll pick it up. We had back to the songs I had on there.
Yeah, because this is good.
So we were rocking with a few, Black Eyed Peas.
Black Eyed
We had
Peas.
Bob Marley.
Dude,
Bob
okay.
Marley was good.
Bob Marley, like a little,
I Shot the Sheriff was a good one.
every little thing gonna be all right.
A little bit of Bob Marley. We had trying to think what else we would have had on there. We had a lot of Jimmy Buffett. That is still one of my favorites.
Wish it awake in Margaritaville.
You going to work out?
Is he heading out?
You about to? Oh, it do be 9 o'clock. All right, we'll see you there, bro.
It is 9 o'clock.
I'm gonna have to call you when I get down there because you got my fob though. We'll see. We'll see you about 10:15.
Sweet. Jimmy Buffett was probably 75%.
Yeah. So you started early with the country stuff, and did you? Because I feel like a lot of the stuff I had to listen to was just because it was out there, right? And I didn't really get to define like. I would say most of the stuff I listen to now, I discovered in the last few years. Like it's not something that I wasn't around for like when it came out.
Yeah.
Even though it's not like old stuff. You
just weren't in that scene yet.
Yeah.
With
like the weird stuff that I listen to.
Grimes.
Like Grimes is
Yeah.
everybody knows me. Knows this is like my favorite artist.
Yeah.
I didn't listen to her in 2011 when she came out with her first stuff. I started listening to her 2 years ago.
And that was due to what we grew up on.
Yep.
I mean, it's just
Kind of the way that things were controlled. We didn't really have that opportunity.
No.
So
whenever I got that phone though, is whenever I started to kind of branch out, and I ran into metal in like 9th grade. Just not Christian metal like I listen to now, but just like Cannibal Corpse and all the other demonic stuff.
Did you hear it and you were like,
oh yeah,
I want to listen to this because it's edgy and like sounds like it's bad? Or did you hear it and be like, I actually like the music, I actually think this is cool?
It's really not because it was edgy at all. I never really wanted,
because I went through that phase. Yeah,
no.
Like I didn't go through like a physically rebellious phase in my but like I did go through a phase of like I'm gonna listen to rap because that's like cool,
well,
whatever, right?
That.
Yeah,
the white guy did that,
and now I think no hate if you like that, but I think the majority of it is garbage, and so like
let me switch over this chair here. I'm sitting on the car.
Yeah, absolutely. And so my thing is always like, even if it's a genre or something that I don't typically listen to, or even if it's one that I don't like I'm not ashamed of the fact that I just don't like country music.
Yeah.
Like it's just the truth. I just don't.
Yeah.
And so, but if if you genuinely are like, I think this sounds good, this is artistry, this kind of thing, I'm not faking a country accent, whatever, right?
Yeah. That's
then I'm like, more power to you. That's awesome.
Yeah. It wasn't at all as like a rebellious thing. It was more of just, I think the intensity of the music was like how fast paced.
Yeah,
the majority of it was.
Oh yeah,
really
because I've always said, even with my, I need to be able to feel it. Like that's why I have to have the volume up so high.
Yeah,
is it almost doesn't matter what genre. Like I need to be able to actually like feel something from like physically.
That was definitely a big thing, and how much that contrasts to mainstream everything else.
Yeah.
I think like
and it does.
Mainstream.
Most people are turned off by metal. Like most people, if they
especially
heard
in
that,
the South,
yeah,
is really
like you'll hear a lot of different genres in the grocery store or in the what, but you'll never ever hear metal. And and there's very few stations that play it. Not a lot of people listen to radio anymore anyway. But like it's especially here, it's a super niche thing.
I like that though. I think because country music is so. Let me get the mic. I'm trying to put this guitar down. Because country music is so prevalent in the South, and it's getting bigger everywhere else too. But because it's so prevalent, I feel like there's a lot of people in on it that aren't really in on it.
Yeah,
if that makes sense. Like me, for instance. Like I love it. I'll listen to it. I love it, but I don't. It's not relatable at all. Because you grew up in the South, but not everybody grows up on a farm. Not everybody drives a truck.
That's the number one thing for me. Not genre, not anything. It's if it's relatable for me.
Yeah,
I'm in.
Yeah, and I guess that's what I found through metal is that it was relatable in a weird sense. Now, the sound is what got me there, and then discovering the Christian side of it is really what kept me there. Just because I wasn't down with the Cannibal Corpse stuff.
Yeah.
Like, at all.
Like, the stuff it's feeding your brain.
It's feeding your brain, yeah. And I was okay with it just because I wasn't far along in my walk with Christ. And so, I was fine with it because I was like, oh, I just like the music.
Yeah.
But, dude, you know,
Right.
if faith comes by hearing, then you know what else comes by hearing.
Exactly.
So as I progressed in that walk, I was like, man, I kind of need to put down this cannibal. And so that's whenever I discovered, you know, I mean, Demon Hunter's not my favorite,
Shout out.
but they've been shout out
Shout 'em
Demon
out.
Hunter, yeah. But you know, they've been around for some time, and then that kind of led me into Impending Doom and man, what are some others? Let me grab my phone just so I don't.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Make sure you shout out the right.
Dude, I gotta shout out the right ones.
to
Dude.
shout them out.
I gotta shout out the right ones. I'm gonna go all the way to the bottom because that's where all my stuff is. Okay, with blood comes cleansing.
You've definitely
Is
talked to me about them
amazing.
before.
Love them.
Which one does? Let's shout out the one that Steven knows the bassist and everything for.
With blood comes.
That is
cleansing.
with blood comes
Yep,
cleansing.
that's them.
Okay.
Yeah, he went. I want to say he went to school.
Yeah, it was
with
something
them,
like
or
that.
He was
like,
related to him through marriage.
He's credited. Is he
Yeah.
credited on the album itself?
He's
on
credited
one of them?
on
For songwriting or for bass?
It's gonna be for songwriting, I think.
Yeah.
I wanna know which album that is, or maybe it was an EP. I'm gonna look.
It
at
might have been an EP. It
be
may
an
not
EP.
be one that's like released on
Yeah.
digital. It might have been something they sold
know-
at like a on tour or something.
Yeah. I want to say it was the Golgotha album, but I'm not quite sure. That's very big.
We'll ask him again. We'll have him
we
on here
gotta check.
eventually too, and
Do we
we'll
have to have
we'll,
him
we'll
on?
drill him about that.
Thank you, by the way. I just kind of walked in the apartment. You know,
Yeah, man.
Okay, Cultist.
Okay.
Love Cultist. Now,
Good.
this I don't know what they've been doing recently. It's not metal. I don't know what it is.
Are they putting a little bit of that electronic stuff
it
in
is-
there?
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's only
So many
that.
artists go
It's-
that route where they
it's-
start to go a little electronic. We were talking about Crowder earlier, like David Crowder,
Yeah.
how that's kind of gone like electronic in the later years and all too. Because I was shuffling stuff and I came across a David Crowder song that was like straight up rock, bro. And I was like, man, I wish all their stuff would have been like that.
Come back
You
with
know?
that.
Yeah.
Convictions, War of Ages,
Yeah. Oh, Steven loves them.
dude. Yeah, dude. So I saw we
He's
saw
mentioned that every time we talk about music, he finds
they
a
were
way.
amazing, and in concert they were like, I haven't been to like a
Who did y'all go
large
see
amount.
in Birmingham?
Yeah, so War of Ages, Impending Doom, Demon
Okay.
Hunter.
Oh, they were all there?
Yeah, Opponent was there. Now, Opponent. No, man. I'm not on board with Opponent.
Really?
No, I'm not on board with Opponent.
Different kind of message than what the others are kind of
Completely
sending?
different. So the drummer was wearing the shirt, and it was freaking brutal. And that's fine.
You were in the mosh pit,
Except-
weren't you?
Yeah, of course. But it's fine if you want to wear it. I'll tell you what, it was a shirt with Donald Trump on it, and he was decapitated.
Oh.
And it was some brutal message with some expletives.
Oh.
And that's, if that's how you feel, I mean, it's America, I guess. But
Yeah.
then again,
That's
it's
a pretty
like,
clear message you're sending
but with
there.
the bands though that you're touring with,
Right.
Impending Doom is
Also, you're playing that song and you're playing that show in Alabama.
exactly. And so it was a bold statement.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, I don't agree with the shirt. I wouldn't agree with a shirt with whatever person.
I was about to say
on there.
it wouldn't matter who was on there. Yeah.
It wouldn't have mattered who was on there. I wouldn't agree with it, but I mean, touche, I guess. For wearing that in Birmingham and
Yeah. That was a bold move.
bold move for sure.
Yep. Yeah.
When you're touring with Christian bands,
Right.
probably not the best wardrobe.
Probably
choice,
not.
But
Obviously, there's a
You
lot
went
of
with it.
there's a lot of it's called death metal for a reason, but
It is.
it can be a sound and not a lifestyle.
it can be, yeah.
You know.
I guess about sound though. Sound is big, but when you listen to the Christian metal, the lyrics actually have a lot of times. I'm not going to say all. I would never say all, but a lot of times what I found is that the lyrics are actually more theologically sound than some of the mainstream Christian
Yeah.
music.
I remember having this conversation with so my buddy Taylor that I used to be in a band with and all back in Auburn, and we grew up doing like youth band stuff and everything. You know, he'd listen to some screamo stuff and all, and then into metal a little bit. And I remember having a conversation with him early into my music endeavors where he was like, he just kind of made this comment like, man, you listen to that kind of, you hear that kind of stuff, and a lot of people write it off as like, oh, it's just noise and garbage or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But what a lot of people don't know is that those are like some, if not the best musicians that are out. Like,
They are
like
technically.
the most technically sound guitarists and stuff are actually the ones playing like all that.
Yeah.
Like, because you have to really, like, they're really good.
Yeah.
So, even if that's not your sound, you could be like, whoa,
You can appreciate the art.
that's really like,
Yeah.
that's really technical and really good. So, yeah, man, it's, I think I'm of the opinion that you can listen to a lot of secular music and be okay, which because I mean most of my favorite artists are secular,
Yes.
and now I'm not listening to necessarily like I try not to listen to stuff that has like or just a horrible message or anything like that, right? Yeah. But just from like an artistry standpoint, like a lot of my stuff is it's secular, but it's not like horrible stuff, right? And then obviously I've got my worship playlists, and that's always kind of going. But definitely nothing wrong with taking inspiration, from different kind of areas.
Yeah, I completely agree with that point. I think that ties into what I was saying about not listening to a lot of the metal that I started on, just because the music is still great. Like the music is still great. They did a great job.
Yep.
But I'm not down with the message.
Right.
And so, but there's no excuse though now that there is Christian metal. It's like I had to go over there.
Yeah. Then it's like you might as well listen to that because that's
and,
giving you the best of both worlds. So.
And I might be what's the word, biased?
Right.
Partial?
Right.
But I feel like a lot of the Christian metal scene, it is so small, especially here, but it doesn't. I don't think it's really developed or got that like cheesy Christian like thing on it yet.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah,
like
because a lot of a lot of people, just like you might hear something that you're not super in tune with, and you might just immediately write it off. Right, I'm never going to listen to that again. Yeah. A lot of people do that with a lot of the mainstream like Christian artists. Yeah. Is they might like someone might hear and they do. So someone's going to see the name like Chris Tomlin or something, right? And they're going to go, no, I'm not going to listen to that at all.
Yeah, I've been guilty of that.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, now I might be a little bit partial to like the older stuff because it's a different kind of sound. Right. But yeah, I mean, it's just the same way. Like you just slap a label on something and you're like, oh, I'm not going to listen to that because it's metal or whatever it might be. And yeah, I mean, we're in kind of a smaller town and we're even more south than Auburn, and there's not a huge scene of that in Auburn where I'm from. So, it's going to be even less until you get kind of into a city. And even then in Georgia, Atlanta is going to be more of kind of a hip hop rap scene than it is anything else.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah. Or country.
Yeah, well, probably more hip hop.
Yeah,
just because all the guys, man, they come from there.
Yeah,
a lot of the mainstream
like
guys,
the big artists, like are either usually they're from Atlanta. Yeah. If not, just kind of still based out of there. So. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. We saw a lot of them actually when we were at the Falcons game. Yes. There was a lot, like Quavo was there. Yeah. Ludacris, Ludacris was there. Yeah, man. There was a lot of people on there. Actually. So so Monday Night Football is happening actually as we speak. We're about to work out, and then I'll have Chapel back on again actually for another episode. We're gonna talk some more music, and we'll get that out probably after this one. But right before we go. As we record, so there's 11 minutes left, second quarter. Atlanta's up 7-0.
Okay.
So
hey man,
holding
that
on.
Doesn't mean really anything.
How much you want to bet that was a Bijan Robinson run or a Kirk Cousins pass?
A Kirk Cousins pass? I'm probably banking on the run, but
that was a 30. My vision's so bad. 30-yard pass from Kirk Cousins. Wow. To Drake. Well, guess who? Drake London, because he's the only receiver that he's got. We'll go back and watch. Yeah, Minnesota's up 10-0 on the Bears. We'll see what happens. I need like 30 points to advance in the playoffs in my fantasy league. So we'll see what happens again tonight. We're going to go work out. We'll see you.